My name is Sharon James. I'm a student at the University of the West Indies Open Campus. I'll be presenting today on authentic assessment in the early childhood classrooms. Authentic assessment is the only appropriate method of assessment to be used with young children. Based on this moot, I will endeavor to present 3 arguments in support of authentic assessment in the early childhood classrooms. We will look at what is authentic assessment, the purpose of authentic assessment, the importance of authentic assessment, which integrates with the strategies, the benefits, and the goals of authentic assessment. I will also compare the traditional assessment with the authentic assessment. By the time we get to the end of this presentation, you will agree with me that the authentic assessment is the most appropriate method to be used in the early childhood classroom. What is authentic assessment? Authentic assessment is a system of observation, documentation, and analysis of children in the classroom. It also evaluates the children's ability in the real-world context, and it is an approach that measures children's learning methods in a relevant way. When students are given an authentic task, they do not have to memorize facts or study as if it's a test or an examination as with traditional and other assessments. All they need to do is to analyze what they have learned and apply it with their very own experience. In this way, they are able to use their own creativity to show or to enhance what they have learned. The purpose of authentic assessment. Authentic assessment is an appropriate method to be used with young children, as it is designed to observe, document, and analyze, which helps to track the child's progress toward meeting the early learning expectations and is one of the most important professional tools used in the early childhood classroom. So the purpose is to track the child's progress toward meeting their learning expectation. And we also learned that authentic assessment is the most important one of the most important tools used in the early childhood classroom. The importance of authentic assessment in the early childhood classroom. Assessment becomes important when a problem is suspected or predicted. Since authentic assessment is a plan to investigate the natural behavior of young children by information captured through direct observation, that would be observation by the caregiver or the teacher, recording samples of facilitated play, and their daily living skills in the classroom. So a lot of observation takes place in the early childhood classroom with the authentic assessment process. Let's now look at some strategies. Strategies used in the classroom would be to assess the children while they are participating in their daily routine activities, so they would not even realize that it's an assessment that you're assessing them. They'll be going through their normal play while you are assessing them. And you have to take into consideration their experiences in life as well as their culture, their personality traits, and the dispositions in order for you to have in order for you to be successful with your assessment. We'll now look at the benefits. The benefits from authentic assessment, it does not disrupt the children's learning in any way, because it is completed throughout the child's regular daily routine. Authentic assessment also helps to identify individual differences, including children with disabilities, cultural differences, and children with different background experiences. Well, another benefit that is derived from authentic assessment would be that learning and development are most likely to occur when new experiences are added to what the child already knows or already is able to do. After we have implemented strategies and we have looked at our benefits, it's now time for us to look at the goals, which is the final outcome. Authentic assessment is situated in real-life scenarios. It enhances children's development of the real-world skills. It gives children the ability to assess their own work performance. And we also know that children develop an active level of creativity. They come up with their own ideas and their own responses. The child also combines these related skills into a holistic project, which makes them develop physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. They are rounded at the end of the authentic assessment. We'll now compare the traditional assessment with the authentic assessment. With the traditional assessment, children must possess a body of skills and knowledge. They have to learn. While with the authentic assessment, the children have to be capable of performing tasks. They are being themselves. With the traditional, the children are tested to ensure that they have learned, they have acquired knowledge. While with the authentic, the children perform meaningful tasks. They do, and from the tasks that they perform, they learn. Now, I'm sure that you would join with me in saying that authentic assessment is the better choice if you are choosing assessments for your child.
Have a seat by the computer.
Now we've come to the end. It's the conclusion. I love the quote of Benjamin Franklin where he says, "Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn." I think this applies to the authentic assessment. We ought to use these in early childhood classrooms. We have to ensure that the children learn, and they can learn in their own way. We don't have to test them, give them multiple choices.